Hi guys. So my name is Aida. I'm doing international business and Spanish at the University of Westminster. Now I'm entering like today I started my last year as well. So I'm participating in this Westminster speaking event as well. And today I'm going to talk about how university and traveling could be the best investment in yourself. So all is going to be all my personal experience and what I did, my like career path, how I chose it, or what I did to actually get to know myself a bit more as well. All the pictures I used are all of them I took it as well. So this is me in the picture as well in Machu Picchu, located in Peru, which I visited during my year abroad in Chile as well, which I just came back from it as well. Um, Work and Travel USA, there's a program as well where, as a student, like it's not really connected to the university, but as a student, you can go there and use the program as well. So it depends on which country you're applying for. Because I applied, because I am Lithuanian, so I applied it through Lithuanian like company as well, but they do have that in the UK and in every other country as well. So in the UK, if you want to participate in this program, you could go to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, or States of America, sorry, or I think they got even more countries as well. So I chose to go to United States of America, and that was one of my first travels alone. So I went there completely alone. It was after my first year at the university. So I didn't know English properly. I didn't know the UK culture or like American culture. From London to New York, that was a big change because like it feels like we all speak the same language and it's English, but then at the same time, the culture and the language itself is so different as well. So I went there to work in the coffee shop located in Southampton, New York State, which was really lovely. I met amazing people, and the whole journey, it was the best experience as well that you can go abroad and work. So it's not that you just, have money and just spend it on traveling. So it's actually like educational one. You pay for the program, but after that you get a job as well because you need to find a job yourself. The program, they will help you to find one, like the secure one. So once you go in there, you actually know it's not a scam and all that. Then you have to find a place where to live as well. So I did everything and I worked, as I mentioned, in the coffee shop and it was really, really nice. I met amazing people. I made so much contact as well that might be helpful in my future as well. And once you finish your work, it depends how long you want to work. I think I spent like 4 or 3 months working during the summer, and after that I went traveling. So I visited in general, I think like 8 states. Um, and then yeah, so it's really great because you got the opportunity to work, and after that it depends how much you work as well. I know some of my friends, they had 2 or 3 jobs as well, so you spend the whole summer working. But personally, my job was amazing and I'm really glad for the whole team that I met over there. um, so yeah, that helped me to grow as a person as well. As I mentioned, that was one of the first travels that I did by myself. So there was no friends that I knew, no, mum or dad. Um, so it was really nice. Sorry, just a second. Um, so I got the comment that somebody asked if I can tell about the program. So as I mentioned, that's the Work and Travel USA. It depends on which country you're applying for. As I mentioned, you can go to New Zealand, Australia, United States of America, or Japan, and I think they got a bit more of the countries as well, but I'm not sure. You have to pay the fee as well, but after that, like for for the beginning, it looks like it is expensive. But then once you get a job, and like for me, they were paying I think like $11 an hour, and you get tips and everything. It's not that expensive because you're gonna cover all the expenses that you paid, like for the traveling, like as a like plane tickets, then accommodation. Usually the work would give you accommodation as well. You need to pay for it, but they, at the end, you're still going to earn your money and it's going to be covered by yourself as well. And so I wasn't even working a lot, like I guess just like normal hours, like 40 hours a week or like sometimes 45. Um, and then this is how you make money, and then, how everything gets covered as well. So I hope that answered the question. But yeah, the program itself, you can just Google it, just type like Work and Travel USA, and you're gonna give you the more information as well. Or if you got more questions as well, I can answer that. And then my second travel related with the university was my year abroad in Chile, which I highly suggest to go abroad, because if not Chile, I wouldn't be here speaking to you as well, because it gave me so much confidence as well. Um, so as well, yeah, as I mentioned, this was my year abroad destination. I spent about 9 months over there, and it was lovely. It was really hard, but I guess this is how it is when you get out your comfort zone as well. So I spent, as I mentioned, 9 months. All the 9 months, every month was very different. I met many amazing people. The university, I was going in Chile to in the university as well, University of Chile, which is really good. I think the business school is number one in Latin America. So it is really good university. I learned a lot about business as well, about like even Spanish language, and like I had some lectures in Spanish and some of them in English as well. Um, and it was really, really nice. Um, all the, I don't know, like there is so much to talk about Chile itself as well. So first of all, like there's different climates, obviously, and then everything, like in the UK, when I left the UK was summertime, and over there it was winter time. So that was first shock for me as well, when you just like in the UK was actually like heat wave at that time as well 1 year ago. And then when I got to Chile, it was just so cold, because it actually, I know South America, so you wouldn't believe it that it's actually cold, but it was like 0 degrees. So it was pretty much cold, not for a long time, but that was shocking a little bit. So that was the first step. And then, as I mentioned, I started to go to university. I met amazing people. I tried to connect with as many organizations that I could as well. I tried to learn Spanish because I'm studying Spanish as well. I'm doing double degree, so international business and Spanish. So basically in Chile it was international business in Spanish. And I really, really liked that. And I traveled a lot of countries as well, because usually it's very hard to travel to Latin America. It's very expensive as well. But once you pay to get to Chile, like you pay for your flight tickets and you in Chile, then you can just travel all around as well. Um, we had some difficult times in Chile as well. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was protests going on as well. So that's why I'm a bit more used to all this online thing as well, because we had university since October 2019 online. But I think the whole protest and all the political riots and everything was a good experience for me to actually understand the Chilean culture, to actually be able to support my Chilean friends as well, and to actually, just kind of like grow myself, like get out of the comfort zone, go outside, see what's happening, why there's a fire everywhere, why I can smell tear gas, and like why people are singing songs that I can't even, at the beginning, I couldn't understand, like, even the word that they were saying or singing. But at the end, it was a really nice experience, even with the protest, because that made me a bit more closer to the culture. So once you closer to the culture, once you actually learn about a new culture, it's kind of for you as well. You kind of start growing, because you think, oh, like, I never experienced that before. And then when, they ask you about what happened in Chile, how everything went, you got a completely different story to tell as well. It wasn't just like, oh, I went abroad, I was partying and, going to university sometimes and all that. It wasn't like this. I had so much to tell as well. I was aware of the situation in Latin America. I was aware of the situation in Chile as well. So that's why I highly suggest going abroad as well. And as a university student, you can do that. There's all opportunities to do that. They, as I mentioned on the second point as well, they do distance horizon awards as well. So they help you financially, and they give you, even the university. Sorry, even the university gives you funding for that. Um, and as well, once the pandemic started, because the first semester I spent in Chile, it was basically, um, protest. And the second semester, I had some fun time during the summertime. And then we had pandemic as well. And the university helped me to come back to Europe. So they funded my travel as well. And also, like, I had insurance as well that was provided by the university, which otherwise, if not university, that would have been like so expensive. So that's another thing that a university will help you actually with. So it's, once again, like, it's not about you having money, because a lot of people asking me like, Ida, like, why do you have this much money to travel? And it's not about money. Like the first program I mentioned, yeah, you need to invest a little bit before, but then after that, everything is okay because you have a job, and this is how you get funded. And for Chile as well, like, the university helps you a lot. Obviously, like, before going to Chile, I had to work a lot, but that's also my decision. If I want to travel, nobody said that traveling is going to be for free as well. Chile as a country, it is very expensive. Like, at some point, I would say, like, it's London prices. But other than that, it's completely worth all the money as well. And thank you very much again for the university and for the all funding and for the whole help that I got from them as well. It was really nice. That's a part of the experience as well, I think, because during the protest I was really in touch with academical stuff at the University of Westminster. So it was really nice to get to know them and share my stories with them as well. And then, yeah, the pandemic happened, so I never had the chance to actually meet them and talk in person about everything what happened, because we had so much stories. Like, once the protest started, me and my friends, we were just so excited, but at the same time so scared of what is going on. Like, if we need to cut our year short, if you want to, like, do we need to come back to Europe? Is it actually safe to be in Chile? But then we just decided, oh, it's going to be okay. We're going to make our way from it. And then we went to the city near the ocean as well. We spent a really nice time. We met completely different people because Chile is so big as a country. So depends where you go. You're going to meet different people, especially different accents. So that was really helpful for my Spanish as well, because I think Chile is maybe not the best choice to go if you want to learn Spanish, because they speak completely different dialects. And even I met so many people from Spain, and they said once they landed in Chile, they couldn't understand anything as well. But that's the part of the experience. That's the part of you getting out of your comfort zone as well. And this is how you grow, as I mentioned again. This is another investment in yourself. So yeah, once again, I really, really suggest going abroad. I know now it might be not the best time to talk about it because of the COVID-19, but once it's over, hopefully it's over, and it's going to be soon, hopefully as well. I really suggest you to go and just try to find yourself as well, because that really helped me. So the first trip is Cuba. I went to Cuba during my first year at the university. So the Cuba field trip was more for Spanish students as well. As I mentioned, I do study international business and Spanish. But that was, I think, the first step for me to actually get more confident. And because during the lectures, I was so shy because I couldn't speak Spanish at all. I remember the first day at university, my teacher asked me, like, how well do you know Spanish? And I was like, well, I know how to count till 10. And that was literally it. And now I'm able to speak Spanish. I'm able to communicate with, like, different people as well, which is another thing. Knowing another language is really nice for you, and it's really helpful to actually get to know the culture a bit more, like a bit closely. So yeah, that's the pictures I made in Cuba. I'm very bad at taking pictures, but these pictures are really nice just because Cuba are so nice. So you don't even need to try to, find the good spot. It's just all the pictures gonna come up amazing. So we went there with the university. It might be like 20 people and some of the teachers as well. It was really, really nice. It was my first time in Latin America, probably because of that. After that, I chose going Chile, not to Spain. Um, yeah, so we had some cultural activities as well. My Spanish teacher, he is from Cuba originally as well. So he knew all the city, La Habana as well, very well. So he was giving us tours around the city. And then he even took us to other cities by the beach, um, where we met amazing people again. And then in the evenings, we had some time alone, just if you want to go out with your friends, just to explore, the city. So that's what I did with my friends as well. We just went to like La Habana Center and we met different people. We tried to speak with the broken Spanish, but I guess this is how you learn language as well. So we met some nice people from the university who were going to Cuba with us as well. And then we got a bit closer with our teachers as well. And I think that's like really great opportunity as well. The university does not only Cuba. I think Cuba for now is cancelled, but like obviously all the travels are cancelled, but Cuba was cancelled like before the pandemic as well. But I know the friends who went to Hong Kong as well, the university, I think it's called Westminster Working Cultures as well. So there are many, many opportunities and many, many countries you can visit as well. I know they do trips to Mumbai and Jordan, I think, as well, which would be really cool. That's another step for you to take to actually, for the whole journey of finding yourself. And I think it is the best investment. And as mentioned in the slide as well, it was fully funded by the University of Westminster. So the money I spent, it was just on food, but half of it was covered by the university as well, because in the hotel, it was basically the big house that they rented for us. So in that, house, they were giving us food, they were cooking all the fresh foods as well, local Cuban people. So it was really nice that you can interact with them as well. So yeah, that's another thing that there's a lot of opportunities for you just to go somewhere. It just depends if you want to, if you're not bothered to apply for it, because usually all the applications are quite long. You have to tell your story and all that, but I highly suggest that as well. Not all the people get to go there, but once you actually really try and quit your application, then I think it's going to work out, because it worked out for me as well. Before I had no experience whatsoever, just like, so you don't need to have experience just to go somewhere, or that you can go, yeah. And then a journey finding myself and my future career path. So I'm not saying that I'm the best one to talk about which career you should choose. Obviously, at the university, we have career services as well that I use that myself. They're really helpful. You could just get an appointment and talk to them about what you want to do in the future. If you don't know if you're not sure what would you like to do, they have so many suggestions. They have so many tests as well. So on the right side, you can see a photo of the coffee shop, because that's where basically my journey begins. So when I moved to London 4 years ago, I started working in the hospital, St. Thomas Hospital, in the coffee shop located inside the hospital. And I just fall in love with the hospital. I fall in love with all the people I met. I'm very grateful for all the doctors, all the staff members that I met. Thanks for them. I speak English now, because they were speaking to me every day so I can, practice my English before my IELTS exam so I could get into the university. So they were with me the whole journey. So I met them before going to university, and I'm still in touch with them as well. So I think that was like what I wanted to mention, like a hospitality job. Like I had to do any job just because like if I want to go to university, I have to fund myself because there is like my parents can't really support me fully. They help me financially, but it's not enough. And then student finance as well. As an European student, I don't get maintenance loans, so sometimes it's a bit funny to actually get the right amount of money for the month to survive. But so the hospitality job, sometimes I hate it a lot. Um, because obviously like doing coffee and then you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to university, I don't want to do that. And then at the same time it just gives you the path for my future. That happened to me. As I mentioned, I fall in love with the hospital so much that after that I started doing volunteering for the NHS as well, located in the same hospital, St. Thomas. I did volunteering in the cardio department as well. So I was doing there basically like basic stuff as to just help nurses and all the doctors as well, so they can run the department a bit more smoothly as well, because it was really, really busy department. But then there's another thing when you do volunteering, it's kind of for you to find yourself as well, because yeah, you can do that to make your CV look better or like for any other reason. If you just want to help people, that's great. I did that because I wanted to say thank you for the hospital, for like for all the doctors, that met all the nurses or staff members or even other baristas as well, just to say it was my way to say thank you for just, I don't know, just giving me opportunity to actually find myself, because it's so nice to be accepted as well. For me, that was new because, as I mentioned, I came from another country, so everything was really new. And then, like, even when I was in Lithuania, I never liked hospitals at all. Like, the hospital for me was number one place that I wouldn't go. Even like, I even told my mom, take me to the hospital if I'm dying. If there's no other reason, I'm not going. And then when I went to the UK, my mom was so surprised as well. Like, since when you like hospitals? Because here it was so different as well. So that's why traveling is here again, because you might try one place, like you think, oh, I want to do accounting, and you start with one company, then it might be, you might think, oh, it's not for me. But then if you try that with another company, that might be that thing that you were looking for as well. That happened to me with law as well. So I think when I was 10 years old, I decided that I want to do law. I was really young, but there were so many opportunities as well for a young student back home in Lithuania to actually, do kind of like law studies. And I was going to university for like a couple of months to actually learn more about law and attend all the lectures and stuff. They had so many stuff, and that's back in Lithuania. So since we all study in England. In England, I think that should be the same amount or even more opportunities as well with your career. It's not necessary; it has to be law as well. Um, and then yeah, once again, traveling. Um, I thought that law is for me. I thought that 4 years, and then eventually it took only one small conversation, which was like 5 minutes with my friend who wanted to study law as well. And after that, I realized that law is not for me. And it's because of traveling. I was traveling, I met that person, I talked with her, and this is how I decided, okay, it's not for me. So I spent 4 years thinking that I'm going to study law, and then everything changed, which is okay for you as well. If you're not sure what you want to study, the biggest thing is for you to actually try different fields, try different countries, try different companies, because like even the same thing in different like environments gonna it's just gonna be different. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, traveling itself, new cultures and experience. As I mentioned, so many people I met everywhere. Languages I learned, or even like a few sentences, for example, like in Italian, how to say have a good day or hello. It's just because you meet different people, so you get to understand the culture a bit more as well. So the picture on the right is the one in Cusco, Peru. So I was traveling there, as I mentioned, thanks to my year abroad as well. I was able to go to Peru and many other countries as well. I think I visited like 7 Latin American countries as well. And I think that's great. And the picture on the left, that was just my trip with my friends to Spain. I think that's very close to Sierra Nevada in Spain as well. And the bottom picture one is my hometown in Lithuania called Kaunas. Just winter time is just so beautiful. I think Lithuania looks better, the best during the winter time as well. So yeah, as I mentioned, even back home, I met so many amazing people that were so glad that I even left Lithuania, went to study abroad, because in Lithuania, it's not so easy to get this much opportunities as well. I was so surprised, especially during my first year, that I got to go to Cuba. Because before, when I was in the like secondary school back home, I would never thought of any opportunities like this. Like the world looks so big, and I even remember once I graduated the high school, I told my friends, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to United States just to travel," and they say, "Yeah," and I'm gonna do ballet. Like as it is impossible to do that, because that's what we thought. Because Lithuania is still like suffering a little bit because of the Soviet Union in the past. So all the economy is not great. So universities, they still recovering as well. They don't have that much opportunities as England could give you. But as I mentioned, every country has opportunities, and even Work and Travel USA, I applied for it. The first program that I mentioned, I applied for it through Lithuanian company. Um, I don't know why. I think for me at that time it was easier to do that. I still had to do my visa and all that in London because I was located in London. But other than that, I think every country has opportunities. But just be very grateful that you got chance to be like University of Westminster student, because I think it's a lot of opportunities, as like we all know that is the most diverse university in the UK, and I think it's great. And yeah, once again, just so many opportunities for you to take. And then volunteering. So that's the 4 um, companies kind of that I did my volunteering as well. So the LMS one, sorry, that's Lithuanian one. So we work towards like educational goals in Lithuanian high schools. So it was more with the education, how can we improve Lithuanian education across the whole country as well. And then HelpX was, it's just like a company. And then I was in Chile and there was summertime over there. So I was thinking, okay, I've got 3 months spare, what I can do. I wanted to do volunteering, but then every volunteering was so expensive. Like you have to pay so much money just to get a place there. So I was like, no, it's not right. I can't really do that because like obviously I spent already like 6 months in Chile. It wasn't the best financial situation for me as well. So I found the HelpX program as well, that you don't need to pay anything for them. But you can just chat with the host and find yourself a place as well. So I chose to go to Colombia because I really wanted to go to Colombia, and I did my volunteering there. It was a bit different story as well. Sorry, I don't know what happened. It was a bit different story as well because I was supposed to do one volunteering, but then at the end everything went not how I expected. So I ended up just living with English family in Colombia, in the city that is absolutely in nowhere. And if you even tell to a local person that, oh, I lived in La Mesa, they will be like, where is that? Because nobody knows that. So I think that's great because that was absolutely local place. So obviously very good for the language, very good for culture as well, because there's so many Colombian people. And then Teizet, that's it's kind of like religious camp. It's located in France. I was going there not because of my religion, but because that was the only opportunity for me as a like. I think I started going there when I was 14. So that was the only opportunity for me just to travel somewhere by myself, with obviously with the group, but by myself with my friends as well. So you have a group, you can go with your friends as well, and you just travel. So you got on the bus, so that was from Lithuania as well. So you got on the bus and you just drive to France as well. So the first year, I think we stopped in Paris. Then the second year, we stopped in Berlin, in Germany, and then even some like small cities in France as well. So that was really nice as well. It's volunteering as well because you don't need to pay anything to get a bed over there or food. But like I was doing volunteering, so you have to so they give you all the food ready. You just have to give it to people and say, "Oh, have a nice day." And that was the whole job that I needed to do. We had some lectures to attend as well. How again, like how to find yourself. Some of them were more religious, some of them were not, because the whole camp it is religious, but they're not actually trying to make everything related with your religion as well. So you could just like go there if you don't practice like you know being Catholic or something. And then NHS as well. As I mentioned, I did volunteering in the cardio department, and yeah, that was completely free as well to do because I still think that you shouldn't pay for volunteering that much as they're asking you for. So just it's just a couple of examples that you can do. Because I know a lot of young people now say that volunteering is so expensive and like, why would you work for free if you need to even pay them? So not all the agencies, not all the companies do that. Some of them actually do that for free as well. So you don't need to pay anything to actually do a good thing. And that's another way to find yourself as well. Because in during the volunteering, you learn so many things. You get out of your comfort zone. Like when I was in the volunteering for the NHS, I had to speak with the patients. I had to explain them about how to do a test or like any other procedures. I had to know every department in the hospital. So or even take them to other departments as well. So it takes you out of your comfort zone, and I think that's great because it's really hard to start doing that, but once you start it, it makes you different as well. And as I mentioned as well, it's not all the things that I did here. I wouldn't be here speaking about it as well. I was so not confident and so shy before, and all the opportunities. It shaped me as a person as well. All the people that I met, all the languages that I learned, or all the countries I saw, it literally shaped me as a person, and this is who I am today. And with this, I'm gonna finish this speech. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for giving your time to listen for me as well. Thank you very much again.